this is Steve Candy from Still Mind Aikido in Westchester, New York. Now, today, we're going to do a video on the second level of timing practice or flowing technique practice. It's called Ki-no-Nagare. The first level of flowing technique is focusing on blending. Ki-no-Nagare, you're focusing on leading the other person's mind. Now, what's really happening here is, in the beginning, the basics level of practice, the focus, the connection between partner is really very physical. Now, when we go into the Ki-no-Nagare practice, the connection really is more at the level of the intention of mind. So it's really a very different level of practice. Also, the standard form that you learn in basics that you incorporate into the Kai or the blending speed, the rules kind of change, and you have freedom to change things and respond to circumstances when you're doing the Ki-no-Nagare practice. This is a faster form of practice. So we're going to do the same two techniques, Tai no Henko, and then we're also going to do Shomanuchi Urinagi. And again, it's very important to maintain strong hips as you go through it. So let's get started. So there, as you can see, you're focusing on his movement and his intentionality, and you're not really focused so much. Also, you saw I didn't always go line up perfectly straightly. I would turn sometimes. So then again, you're responding to circumstances. Sometimes they say Aikido looks more like a dance than a martial art. So let's take a closer look at what's going on here. In this situation, as the attacker approaches, I offer my arm for them to grab. Now, he could go and throw a punch or kick, but if he did that, he'd probably run into my arm. So the most logical thing for him to do is to try to grab my arm in a way where he controls my entire body. And then from there, continue to launch his attack or hold me still so other people could attack me, because we do think about things in terms of multiple attacks. At this point, while he commits himself to go and grab my arm, I move it. And if he doesn't continue to try to grab my arm, I'll use that hand to hit him. So he needs to continue to make the effort to grab my arm, and this is where we start to form a connection. As he continues, he does get a hold of my arm. I settle my weight. I've turned, I've looked at the environment to see if other people are attacking me, and my elbow is very, very close to his face. So it wouldn't be very logical for him to let go of my arm. And here's where, again, where we maintain this connection. He must grab my arm to avoid getting hit in the face, and I use his grip and his intention to attack me to control him so that I won't hurt him. And this is where Aikido really has its focus, multiple attacks, and controlling an attacker in a way where you do not need to harm them. So let's look at the rest of this in slow motion so we can see how some of these points play out. Now let's look at it with the same technique, Shomanuchi Urinagi. So here. I don't have to wait for contact. Then from here, I use my body weight, strong hips, to be able to throw. So it's my body weight that throws, it's not my arms. You know, one more time here. we're going to look at this in slow motion again. Notice, first of all, that I initiate the attack. The attacker actually wants to attack me, and I call him out by feigning a strike towards his head. He goes to block against what he feels will be a lot of pressure or a powerful strike, and I don't actually wait for contact. When he commits to pushing against my strike, I move out of the way and lead his energy. Then when it comes to the throw, notice that I sink my hips and the attacker falls before I really put any power into it. The basics in the Iwama system is really a manual on how to generate a tremendous amount of power. If he pushed against me and fought, when I sink my hips and then launch my whole body forward with my leg strength, he would be projected far up and out. And rather than take such a harsh fall, he falls before I really have an opportunity to put too much power into the throw. So notice how you have the interplay of the leading from the Ki-no-Nagare practice, or the leading from the flowing practice, and you combine that with the settling of the weight and strong hips from the static practice. And if the attacker actually stopped to fight at some place in the middle of it, because I'm still using the strong hips from the basics position, I'm not going to get caught off guard. I'll still be able to handle the attack. So that's really the construction of the Iwama system. You take the basics, which is a manual on how to generate power, and you combine it with the more advanced portions of the technique. So that way you have a more complete system right from the beginning throughout the entire practice. So that's an example of Ki-no-Nagare practice. Next, we're going to give an example of some regular flowing Ki-no-Nagare practice. Natalis will be doing that.